AVC, thanks for stopping by my channel. Tony's LPs are us. We're here in Studio B where we keep our Beatles and our Bond and you know what else, right? Today's little segment is a tribute to this dude, Quincy Jones. Hats off. As you know, Quincy Jones passed on November 3rd, 2024, just a few days ago. Sad. I wasn't going to do a tribute, but I had some of his albums. Don't have everything. He had 70, 80 albums. Don't have everything. I'm going to show a few records that he did, arranged and produced for other folks. We all know he did the Michael Jackson trilogy, Off the Wall, Bad, and Thriller, which, charted forever and sold, 20 times platinum, 30 times platinum, whatever each. So I'm not going to show the Michael Jacksons. We all seen them a million times. But, he was born in 1933 in March, so he was 91. And I was first exposed to him probably with his Frank Sinatra collaborations with the Count Basie Orchestra, Count Basie Band. He arranged and conducted a few of the albums. He also did Frank's last album, which I'm going to show. So we're going to talk about Quincy a little bit, or not talk about him, because what can I say? I'm not, I don't have a 5-hour show to do here. But I will say that Frank Sinatra really dug him, and it was mutual. I believe he wore, probably to the day he died, he wore a ring, a pinky ring that Frank gave him as a friendship for his, just his love of his music and helping Frank out with some records. And I believe that's the only one other than what Frank wore that Quincy wore. And Quincy said in a documentary I've seen, it's probably going to be running now quite a bit, but a few years ago, great documentary on his legacy. And he talked about that ring and his love and admiration for Sinatra, which was mutual. But you may not know that his song Super Bossa Nova, which is a great upbeat jazz dance song that you could actually, do modern dance to, was made famous again by the Austin Power films, the trilogy. The beginning of the film when the titles come on and when he's running through London town back in the swinging 60s, that is Super Bossa Nova. You may not know that. So just a little thing. I don't have the album. I have the films, but here's the CD, which is that. And he also worked with the young preteen Leslie Gore. It's My Party, that Leslie Gore. So this was Quincy Jones produced. Quincy Jones may have written some of the tracks. I'm not quite sure, but he was a big part of her success. Here he does his the liner notes on this great Mercury recording. This has It's My Party. I believe this is their first record, Crimea River. He says here in part, the story of Leslie Gore's swift rise to fame may well have been taken from a fairy tale fable. Born May 2nd, 1946 in New York City, Leslie has spent most of her life in Tenafly, New Jersey, so she's a Jersey girl. And it's interesting because she was only 16 years older, or 16 years younger, rather, than Quincy at this time. This was 1963, and Quincy was born in 1933. And you could do the math, and here you see his famous signature there. So I wanted to show those two, my great Leslie Gore albums. They sound great. These are original Mercury records. And then I'm going to talk about the Sinatra collaborations. He did the Sinatra collaboration with Count Basie. This was arranged and conducted by Quincy Jones. Q is the nickname that Sinatra tagged him with, and it kind of stuck. Sinatra was that kind of guy who would take charge and lovingly give him a nickname, Q. So you may not know that. And that's the liner notes there. So we have that. He also conducted this classic, this double album live. Anything I show here on Sinatra, if you don't have it, try to find these records. Even the last one, which is the last Sinatra record that Quincy did, and the last Sinatra record that he did. So pick these up. This is Live at the Sands, 1966, I believe. There's a mono and a stereo of these. They're both equal. I also have the MoFi of this, which at this point is quite valuable. I'll just show you the one of the sleeves. This is an original. This is a mono, tricolor reprise, and here we have the stereo, which I prefer the stereo, but either way, how much can you listen to? And there's the inner, which is the same. So Quincy Jones conducting, big fan of Count Basie, obviously. Quincy started playing in clubs. I believe he played trumpet in clubs when he was like 13 or 12. He would sneak in and play with the guys. He knew everybody. Everybody knew him. And this record is a great record. This last Sinatra record that I'm going to pull, if I have it here. Yes, there it is. L.A. is My Lady. And there you see the great Quincy Jones. He is on the back end, getting some credit there for once, right? There's a documentary on this, also probably on YouTube, where they filmed the entire session. And there's everybody. George Benson's on this record. Michael Becker, the great late Ray Brown, bass, Steve Gadd, Lionel Hampton, Ralph McDonald, Bob James, George Benson. So this is a great record. And I also have the VHS. I saved this. I got rid of a lot of my VHS because I have them all on DVD or Blu-ray, but of course, being a Frank guy, a Frank fan, I put my hat on for Frank. This is a great movie. You could probably pick this up. I'm sure it's on DVD. If not, it's probably on YouTube. Someone probably downloaded it. So, just a little tribute to Quincy. Thanks for stopping by. I want to say that before I go ahead. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps us out. We really appreciate it. And we try to give you reviews and content, talk about music, records, and things like that. And my hunts that I go out on yard sales and thrift shops and things. So this is a really a top hit for him, The Dude. And this is about the dude here is with a hype. This record, I believe, is A&M. Here's the inner. And that great smile. He was married 3 times, I believe. I believe his first wife was Peggy Lipton. And Peggy Lipton was a heartthrob for all his kids growing up. There's the A&M. She was a star on the Mod Squad. Blonde, beautiful, just a sweet girl. And they were married quite a bit. They were quite a long time, I believe. So here we have one of my early Quincy's, because I really wasn't buying a lot of Quincy Jones. I have some of his soundtracks, which I didn't pull. But here's Quincy Jones Around the World. This is a great one. This is an excellent near mint condition. And these Mercury records sound great. So this has the actual frequency layout here. You can see that. And it's interesting. He does Mac the Knife here, which he did with L.A. is My Woman. Sinatra's collaboration. Sinatra does his take on Mac the Knife. So Quincy was very young here. This record was probably early 60s, I think. I don't have a date. But a great, beautiful. Let me see. I have some notes here, I think. No, it's just the inner. I have to replace that. Look at that. This was a thrift shop find, by the way. That's an original blue Merc. Some of them are black. Maybe the blacks are mono. But this was they really did this up. This has a beautiful jacket around the world. Of course, the famous Body Heat song, the Boogie for the Grinder, One Track Mind, If I Ever Lose This Heaven. I just wish I had time to listen to all this stuff. Let me know if you actually listen to a lot, or if you just buy a new record, listen to it, put it away, file it away, clean it, file it away. Or do you pull records frequently? Like when someone passes, you go back and pull them. Because I know now on eBay, his record spiked. Just like when Melanie died, or Gordon Lightfoot died, or Chris Christopherson, or James Brown, or especially Michael Jackson. Thriller was going for big money when he passed away. Even though there were like 40, 50 million copies on eBay. So here's a great one too, Smackwater Jack, which, who wrote that? Smackwater Jack. Is that? Carole King wrote that. This has What's Going On. Theme from the Anderson tapes. Great Sean Connery film. Wow. Didn't even know that. And Toots Thellman is on this. Bill Cosby's playing on this. Bill Cosby does vocals. Eric Gale, Joe Beck, Hubert Laws, Freddie Hubbard, Bobby Scott, Jim Hall on guitar, Milt Jackson from the Crusaders. Yeah, I know my jazz. I know my jazz people out there. I know my jazz. Ray Brown, Brown Ballad. So, wow. And this is a gatefold, and he's got his dashiki on. For my friend Terry out there, Terry Peace, he's got his dashiki. Here we have Gula Matari. Gula Matari, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But this has Bridge Over Troubled Water, Walkin' Hummin', long track, so these are some jams. And on here, when you open it, it's like a CTI record where they had that fold out with the artists, Freddie Hubbard, Gene Young, Ray Brown, Ron Carter, Milt Jackson on vibes, vocals, Valerie Simpson, Martha Jackson, Hilda Harris, Bob James on keyboard, Herbie Hancock, Bobby Scott, Grady Tate, Eric Gale, Wayne Andre, Gene Young on trumpet, Freddie Hubbard on trumpet, Pepper Adams on sax, Herbert Laws on flute solo. So that's it. So that's my little tribute. Don't have much more to say about him, which I can't really. Like I said, I don't really know enough to go into great detail. His stuff's all online. You could see all of it. There's pages and pages of it. The lights just dimmed when I went through this. Everything's on here. You can look it up. Pick up some of his records. Definitely pick up those Sinatras. The Leslie Gore sound great. And here we have the Austin Powers special bobblehead. So check out the beginning of the Austin Powers films. It's super bossa nova. It's great track. I didn't even know that was his track until those movies came out, and I saw who orchestrated that, who wrote it, and things. So keep rocking. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to sub us if you can. Don't forget to send me your comments. Really appreciate it. And rest in peace. My condolences to his large family and just the world. And we lost a great one. He was just a humanitarian. Did We Are the World, of course, with Michael Jackson for relief. So and he had everyone in that. Everyone dug that. He had Stevie Wonder, Springsteen, Dylan, I think Hall & Oates, on and on and on. So just a great guy. And 91, he had a great run. So keep rocking. Stay safe. We'll see you later. Ciao.